been ages since I've done a video. Excuse the shirtlessness, it's 30 degrees or something. Yeah, it's impossible. But I'm up here on my spot. I'm in the shade, and things are beautiful in terms of what's happening with the engineering now. I haven't done a video for a while because my phone's been on the blink. I've had too many videos on it and I haven't bothered to take them off, so it wasn't recording properly. So now here we are again. Hooray! I'm just going to do this one. So I've been synthesizing papers. So since February, but May, June, July, surging. I took the pirate cannon, was the set off. So Geezer put together pirate cannon, which was 6 guys' work, including mine, all put together, unified, in a unified package, so that the things that are in there all made sense and all agree with each other, as it were, fitted together. And so using that document, I then took fringe papers and that aligned with it, and then they illustrated it because there's more detail was going on now onto this core seed the pirate cannon was. And so I was built the true pirate cannon now, which was all the information I was going to add to prove that the Earth's the centre of the universe. I'm just going to do it. You know, I'm going to smash it in the faces of mankind until they eventually accept that it must be true. Because look, it answers, every single paper is answered the same way. So I grew the pirate cannon with fringe works to a certain point where it was repeating, and then I was finding less and less. I think I thought I had a pretty good basis. I'd had it all as much as I needed. I then started taking mainstream papers from physics, from biology, from neurology, from chemistry, from metallurgy, and from fluid dynamics, and from mathematics as well, from all over the place, where they were aligning and questioning geometries, particularly. So there was other stuff too, but let's just say I'm focusing on geometry. So if I see that they're doing something clever, experiments illustrating that they discovered something that shows something, the something they've discovered is that there is a geometric principle underlying it, and they don't know what that is. And so there was a brilliant one, the Einstein-Cartan paper that was done recently, I think it was last year it was done, that summarised the theories, brought them all together with the Einstein-Cartan. And so I answered that one with the same question, the same solution, with the pi tensor, the certainty principle, centre of the universe. And at that point, physics was destroyed. The neurology and biology papers I was getting were observations in nature writ large that were described by geometry also. And that the mitotic rib is the most important one that I found only last week. The mitotic rib is when you have a cell, before it divides into 2 cells as growth of life, so quite important, at the centre of the sphere, a pole arises. So from top and bottom, a vortex, you can imagine a point grows together, and as it touches at the centre, then there is a motion, the chromosomes are exchanged, and that centre pole opens up, and then it forms the 2 cells. So the split occurs at the mitotic rib. And you can't break the mitotic rib. It cannot be broken. In this experiment, when you touch it, it gets stronger, because that's Euler's rigid body axis theorem. Yeah, any displacement on the surface is -1 rotation at the centre. So you're displacing it a little further. You're changing the tension of the -1 at the centre, so it gets stronger by touch. Tactility actually exists. Everything is created from tactility. It's amazing. So the mitotic rib now is a sphere with a fucking pole at the middle, right? That touches at the centre, and it references the centre. And the centre is the Leve disk, which defines the equator, and that's diameter h. And then you've got the pole, and that's diameter h. That's h bar. So you've got a h bar pole and a h bar diameter. And then you've got an elastic spheroid that wants to be spherical, perfect. So h should equal h bar, and it's h that's expandable. So that if you're spheroid, you want to squeeze the middle up to make it more spherical. And so you do that through toggling to love. The 0 to the I squared, so 0 exists with an orthogonal action that just had the Leve disk at the centre of the 0 as a spinning yin-yang 1 rotation, causing the 0 opening up, holding its fatness, you see. And that's to the I squared. That encodes the complex action that relies on the operator to choose it. Look in the paper, we found Paul's rule, one of the fringe papers. He asked me to decouple it from geocentricity. I'm afraid I can't do that, because it's fucking genius. Paul's rule, the 27 sphere following Moore's laws about spheres, and then the 0 squared is at the centre of this 27 sphere cube, 3x3x3, and the toggle's at the center. And so I bring the toggle of love to the center, showing that God is active, benevolent love, and that your job, the meaning of life, is to be active, benevolent love yourself, and then you're manifesting God. Meaning of life, it's simple. It's time to play. Culture, it's going to be very, very different in this new world. And it's absolutely proven, locked solid as a mitotic rib, as unbreakable as that. Yeah, the gift of life. Now, I've also derived the standard model from that principle. So standing on the mitotic rib principle as an illustration of an observation in nature, I then derived the standard model as the low energy states of this high energy state vortex. It's the first ones that you grasp in reality. As you're coming into reality, you get all the fermions and the gluons, all that quarks see. That standard model is derived from this geometric principle of the mitotic rib. Right? And all of that stuff, right, which is, so I can answer, I think I've got, let's say I've got 200 papers that are all answered by the same solution. The elastic plenum exists. The double slit experiment is an observation of what happens when you interfere with a Reynolds surface within the elastic plenum, and that you prove that there is a higher perspective. The OD, the observer description, is from the one. Right? The only observer description that makes any sense is from the one, from God, from the higher perspective. So God, in this sense, is a perspective of everything, and we have that perspective through the use of science, and then we just choose love, and away we go. So, but we just have to accept that the Earth's the center of the universe, and you just have to deal with that. There's nothing I can do to convince you. You're going to have to look at information. But you've got to believe it might be true first. You have to believe it might be true first. And the implications for you, individual, whoever's watching this, are what sin have you got? What sin has not been wiped for you? I am sinless. In terms of I've been forgiven for all the sins that I've done. And if as long as I keep my nose clean now, from now, I'm clean, I'm golden, I'm promised a place in heaven, and I'm happy. Yeah, eternal life exists. That's proven through this. That's why Dr. Victor Leve is classified, because you can prove that eternal life is eternal. Yeah. So I've got all that stuff done, logged, bagged for me personally. I'm doing that. But I really, 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 really want the world to change. I want peace, I want love, I want truth, I want justice. Yeah, I want things to be sorted out. And I want full phase AC consciousness, which is coming when you get the ring tension using the precessional axis whip to get the energy rather than parasitizing it from each other. It's full phase consciousness. Here we come. Evolution awaits the human species, and you've just got to deal with it. The fear of the caterpillar. Look it up. I did a paper on it. See you later. Love rules. Do the work. Choose.